Hello, K5 boys and girls. Today we are going to be doing lesson 118, and that will begin with phonics, letters and sounds, page 35, 135, and 136. So that will be our only paperwork that we will do today. So we're going to go ahead and begin with Bible, review our scriptures, and we also have, we're reviewing an old one that we have previously done in the classroom. So we're going to begin with Exodus 20, verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. And Isaiah 55, 6. Seek ye the Lord while he may be found. And then we're going to review our Psalms 23. I'm going to read it straight out of the Bible. Psalms 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, and my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. So you guys done really well reciting that scripture to me a couple weeks ago. And today we have a new Bible story, and it's about how Jesus fed the 5,000 people. This is one of Miss Susie's favorite Bible stories. And if you haven't never heard it before, I'm sure it'll become yours too. So Jesus spoke as a young boy. He looked across the shore of the Sea of Galilee, but it was not deserted that day. This was the biggest crowd of people he'd ever seen. Men, women, boys, and girls. They all had their eyes fastened on one person, which was Jesus, who was speaking to the crowd. The boy squeezed his way into the very front of the crowd. There were far more people than he could count, 5,000 men, besides all the women and children. As Jesus spoke to the great multitude, he taught them astonishing truths about God, heaven, and how the people could go to heaven. That morning, this young boy that's in our story, he was so thrilled to hear the words that Jesus spoke that he didn't even notice that it was lunchtime. So everyone knows at lunchtime, everyone's hungry. So everyone seemed to forget all about the lunch. They were so astonished by Jesus' teaching. It didn't even occur to him that the afternoon had come and was almost gone. By now, though, his stomach was beginning to get hungry. The boy saw two disciples talking to Jesus, and he was close enough that he could hear what they were saying to him. Lord, they said, this is a desert place, and it's getting late. Send the people home, or at least tell them to go and buy food in the villages around. They haven't eaten all day. The boy heard Jesus reply, they don't need to go away hungry. We can't send them away without any food. They may fall or collapse on the way home. We need to feed them, he said. What? The disciples exclaimed. Why, we don't have much money in our treasury. We couldn't even buy enough food for everyone to have just one bite, much less a decent meal. Anyway, where would we even buy it at? There were no markets nearby. They were in a deserted area. So the people could not be sent away hungry, Jesus said once again. The boy suddenly remembered his lunch. Yes, he actually still had his lunch. His mother had packed it that morning, and he had almost forgotten it. Excitedly, he stepped up to Andrew, one of Jesus' disciples, and said, Sir, I was so interested in listening to Jesus teach that I never thought to eat my bread and fish that my mother had prepared for me this morning. I know that Jesus must be hungry, and I'd like to give him my lunch. It is only a little lunch, but I want Jesus to have it. May I give it to him? He said. Andrew smiled and led the boy to Jesus. Master, here is a lad who has 5 small pieces of bread and 2 small fishes. He wanted you to have his lunch. But what good is that if all the crowd of people is still hungry? The disciples knew that Jesus could not eat the lunch himself, for he was interested in the people eating, not just himself. Jesus looked at this young boy with his bright and eager face and asked, Son, are you willing to give me your lunch? Oh, yes, sir, the boy said. It's not much, but I want you to have it all, he said, and I want you to eat it for yourself. And to the disciples, Jesus said, Make the people sit down on the grass in groups of 50 and 100. Jesus wanted to easily distribute the food to the people. This teaches us that God works in an orderly, organized way. Sit down, everybody. Sit down in groups of 50 or 100, the disciples shouted, moving among the crowd. Why, what's the matter? The people said. What are we going to eat? Eat what? There's nothing around. Never mind, you'll see. Just look and see what Jesus says. Jesus, he took the boy's lunch. He prayed and thanked his father for the 5 pieces of bread and 2 fish. He set a wonderful example for us, showing that we should always thank God before we eat. Then Jesus began to break the bread and the fishes into pieces, and gave them to his disciples to give to the crowds. The strange thing was that no matter how much food he broke off, there was always more left. The boy was seeing a miracle take place right before his eyes. He'd surely tell his mother about this miracle. So that completes the portion of our story for today, boys and girls. We will continue that after spring break. Now we're going to go ahead and move into our phonics. So let's review our short sounding vowel chart. So, I says inchworm. U says umbrella. E says elephant. A says apple. O says ostrich. So if you remember our little song that we sang in class, A-E-I-O-U, ting tang, walla walla bing bang. A-E-I-O-U, ting tang, walla walla bing bang. So let's also review our long vowel chart. So A for acorn, E for eagle, I for ice cream, O for open, U for uniform. So those are all our long vowel sounds, boys and girls. And we can tell that because of the line over top of them. That's how we mark it in our papers, of course. So we also have a new special sound today. I really enjoy teaching you guys these special sounds. I really feel like they help you in your reading skills. So today we have sp in spade. Sp in spade. Let's go ahead and review our others. K in duck. K in duck. E in me. E in me. O in go. O in go. Y in fly. Y in fly. A in pray. A in pray. St in stop. St in stop. Pull in plane. P in plane. Fur in frog, fur in frog. Tur in train, tr in train. Sh in ship, sh in ship. Th in thick, th in thick. The in this, the in this. Bull in block, bull in block. Cool in clock, cool in clock. Full in flake, f in flake. Ghoul in glue, ghoul in glue. Burr in bride, burr in bride. Dur in drum, dur in drum. Purr in pray, purr in pray. Gur in grin, gur in grin. Sm in smoke, sm in smoke. Sk in scat, sk in scat. Sk in skate, sk in skate. Very good, boys and girls. Now we're going to review our blend cards. Spy. And then we want to say that long A sound, A. So spay. Spay. And then we want to say our long sound, E as in eagle. So spee. Spee. And spa. Spa. Remember, we want to use that O for open, so spo. Spa. And remember, our long vowel sound for U would be U, so spoo. So we're going to review our spelling words. We have sp in spill, sp in spend, sp in speck, sp in spoke, sp in spot, sp in spin. So if you notice, all of those used those special sounds, SP. Here we have our special sound of our CK. And then we have a lot that we could help out with our finding our vowels. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and move into our numbers. So I want to see, and we're going to go ahead and review our numbers. So we're going to begin with number 50, and we're actually going to go ahead and count all the way to 100. So we will do that together, and you guys can count at home with Miss Susan. Okay, so let's begin. 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100. So now we're going to review our coins and what they're worth. So we have our brown penny worth 1 cent. And we have our dime, that's worth 10 cents. That's what we use to count by tens, boys and girls. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, $1. So that 100 would make $1. Next, our fives. Our nickel is worth 5 cents. Let's count by fives. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100, or $1. Okay? So that concludes our numbers for today. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to give you guys instructions on how to do our letters and sounds. Page 135, we're going to begin. So number 1 says match the special sounds with the pictures. And then you're going to color the pictures. So we have st, pull, dur, and sh. We also have br, gl, fl, and gur. Okay, so you guys are going to draw a line of what special sound goes with which picture. Next, on number 2, we're going to mark the vowels and read the words. So you guys have done this a lot in class. Remember, if we're looking at buck, we will just use the smile for the one vowel, okay? So if we've got 2 vowels in a word, like spoke, you are going to put a line over the O, and we're going to say the long O sound, which would be O. So spoke. And you're going to mark out that second vowel, boys and girls, just like we've done a lot in class. So let's turn over on page 136 in letters and sounds. You're going to write the blend you hear with each word. So we have a bike, a boat, a 5, and a rake. So that's number 3. And in number 4, you're going to fill in the circle under the word that will complete each sentence. So that's up to you all to read that sentence. Please sound out your words carefully. Don't get in a hurry. And then you're going to fill in the bubble of which word goes with that sentence. Remember, we want our sentences to make sense, okay? So that's kind of a rule of thumb you all can use. And this concludes our lesson 118. So this will actually be Friday's lesson. So this will complete our lessons for the week. So after you all finish this work, you are officially on spring break. And Miss Susan will send updates to your parents of any information. So I hope you guys have a blessed rest of your day. And Miss Susan will see you again soon. Everyone have a safe spring break.